hit the little waiver button so you can stay with me. And so look, this class comes from, where do you get your business from now, and where do you want to get more business from in the future? So one of the things we do in our business planning is, where are you getting your business from now? Most people will say Sphere, database, your personal contacts. But I think that a foundational piece of your business should be coming from what we're talking about today, which is a VIP list. And a VIP list is nothing more than not a past client. So they're literally the small businesses. And we're going to put a list together so you can kind of brainstorm. And this is where I want you writing down that piece of paper. Like, who comes to mind? Like, for sure, your own personal CPA. You're all self-employed, 1099. You have somebody that's handling your taxes because you're not a certified tax person. Neither am I. So I hire someone to do that. Now, when I hire them, it's twofold. It's one, because I don't know the tax laws and I need them to help me not pay the government a lot of money. I'd rather pay me than pay the government. Second is, I want them to refer me. The challenge is, most CPAs are not marketing people. They're not salespeople. They're not thinking of, how can I refer Greg today? How can I refer Allison? She's written me a check every year for 3 years to do her taxes, yet I've never referred her a deal. Like, that's not what they're thinking. But when they're getting a frequency of calls and notes and meetups and conversations with you, and you're planting the seed and asking, they're more apt to do that. Same thing with a financial planner. You have a financial planner for 3 reasons. 1, to handle your finances. 2, so you can refer your clients to them. And 3, so they can refer back to you. But what typically happens is, they're managing your money. You don't really talk to them that much. Maybe you call them once in a while, maybe ask for an investment advice, but that's it. You just kind of give them money and let them do their thing. And that's it. And again, they're not thinking, man, how can I refer Marlene today? How can I give Gloria a deal? How do I help Philip, William, Lisa? I owe them a deal. No, that's not what they're thinking. They're thinking, how do I just watch these little numbers and charts and stuff and then make money? That's it. So it's on me to call them every month. Hey, man, how you doing? Are you beating the S&P? How's my money? Great. Hey, I was calling my past clients. I don't have any referrals for you this month. Or, hey, I talked to someone that I closed last month and they wanted some budgeting help and investment advice. I'm going to send an email to introduce you and them. Do you know anybody that could use my services? It gets very easy as long as I put a system around and in place. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see the form I'm talking about. Let's see here. Let me get it first. So we got Excel. I'm going to move it over here. Share. Excel. Jackie, can you see my top 50 VIP list? Okay, cool. So this is super simple. It's an Excel spreadsheet. You can save it in Google Drive, you can Dropbox, keep it on your phone. You could have a hard paper copy at your desk, and you're filling out this information. Now, the formula for frequency is listed at the very top. So you're going to email, preferably a video that keeps it more engaging with them. You're going to mail them every month. So you have some sort of a newsletter, postcard, something that just keeps you top of mind. Now, again, when my mailers go out, it's literally a long, I don't know if I have any right here. I usually have a couple at my desk that I can share with you. Oh yeah, here's one. Here's the fall one. So it's a long postcard. It's the 8.5 by 11 folded in half. So it's 8.5. So it sticks in the mailbox. It's got a testimonial on the back. And all they do is go, oh, Greg's still bald, wearing glasses, and in mortgage business. And then they throw it away. That's it. But I'm top of mind for another month. And then they get a video from me, right? So it's just the frequency. And again, this frequency I teach for database as well, but this is for the VIP. So you're keeping them on a mailing list. You're emailing them and mailing them. So there's a couple contacts for you. You have the calls. Now, the call frequency is once a month. Now, if you have a list of, I was talking to a gentleman in California. He said in his area, there's 60,000 people. Okay. He's in Cali. He's a small little area, 60,000. He said, Jackie, can you guess how many dry cleaners there are for the 60,000 people?
1.
One. Oh my gosh, you guessed it. One. I was like, oh my God, one. He goes, well, Greg, you know what I did? I went there and I said, hey, if you can I pay you to market me to all of the people? And he goes, Greg, who uses the dry cleaner? It's like an ancillary service that if I don't make a lot of money, then I'm not using a dry cleaner. So it's the people, like he's got, police officers, business owners, business people, more affluent people. He's like, so he gets a ton of business off the dry cleaner. I'm like, dude, that's exactly what I'm teaching at 2:00 today. So I said, hey, I'm going to borrow that one. He goes, you can absolutely borrow that one. Because I didn't process it as, I always thought like, yeah, advertise with the dry cleaner, but I never put it together like the people that use the dry cleaner, right? Just like I use this example, Allison's been to plenty of my classes, and I always say the hairstylist. Like Jackie gets her hair done, get colored, you get it blown out, you get whatever you get done, highlights and stuff. I used to be a personal trainer. So I would get all the stories of my clients before everyone else got the story, right? Oh, Greg, did you hear about so and so? Oh, Greg, I'm getting divorced. Oh, Greg, this is happening. Like you're just the gossip person there. And all I had to do was be a listener and a counter. 5 more. And then they would tell me a story. I'd say 2 more. Okay, tell me the story. Right. But imagine if I had a realtor or a lender that was friends with me at the time, I could have fed them plenty of business because I knew what was happening. Oh, hey, Greg, I won't be renewing with you because we're getting relocated. Or, oh my God, that dog's so cute. Or, hey, Greg, my mom and dad are moving from Chicago to live out here, and I'm not going to have them live at my place. We're gonna find them a place. I mean, great. At that time, I would have said, "Do you know a realtor?" Because I didn't know at the time to refer business out, right? So if a realtor had made friends with me, I could have given them the story. Same as the hairdresser. And like I said, now I'm doing some co-marketing with a dry cleaner where I say, hey man, can you just slide these into the little bags when people pick up their clothes? Great. The client I talked to last week that was at a school, and I said, well, how about they're like friends with the head of the PTO and the principal. I'm like, okay, let's meet with them, and we're going to offer an incentive. You give 250, I give 250 for every closing that happens when they reference Washington Elementary. So now we're going to give the school $500. And I don't care if it's a 503C, whatever, I'm allowed to donate to a school cash, even if I can't write it off. And now that incentivized them to keep me top of mind, as long as I'm continuing to stay in relationship with them. And again, going back, this is our formula. Now, when I say the call them monthly is you have a call time block of say 1 hour on a Monday, 1 hour on a Monday, 1 hour on a whole Monday. So for the whole week, you have to spend 1 hour and you call 1/4 of your list. So if you have a list of 20, you're calling 5 people. If you have a list of 50, you're calling, like 10 or 12, give or take. Okay, birthday program. You know their birthday. You're going to extract that information. I'll show you different forms. There's only 2 forms on today's call. This is one of them. But you're going to get that information. And then when I say birthday program, it means that you know when their birthday is and you're dropping off a handwritten birthday card. Maybe you send them a text message the day before, happy birthday Eve, just so you can stand out, and you hand deliver a cupcake to them or their favorite treat. Maybe you give them a little gift, nothing too crazy. I put the list on Talia's desk. I was going through my birthdays for November, and I got one guy, I'm like, oh, he's a Suns fan. So we're going to get him a Suns jersey, hat, rally towel, and nothing too crazy, under 25, under $50. But again, if I know that person is going to refer me a minimum of 2 closings next year, that would be a nice personalized thing to give them one time a year on their birthday. Pretty easy system. And then the last thing here is invite them to a monthly happy hour. Now, if you're like me, I like to go home with my family. I don't do a lot of happy houring. But what I do is I formed a golf group. So I invite my VIPs to golf with me. And even if they don't golf, they're getting invited. We've actually had plenty that actually wanted to golf. So we've actually started a golf training into the golf program. But now I have something to invite them to. You could do it as a book club. You could do it as a breakfast thing. You could say, let's do it as lunch. It's almost like your own personalized BNI group, right? I don't know how many of you have been in a BNI group. I've had plenty, but it's a very similar thing. We have a regular occurring time where you meet as a group. You share leads together amongst the group. You have one-on-ones that you're trying to do, and you're also trying to get each other leads. And when you're just the connector, right? Like you connected the CPA to the financial planner, to the insurance guy, to the air conditioning guy, to the home inspector guy, to the pool guy. They all start referring, and they always remember that you were the one that connected them. So again, I don't think this seems too difficult. I don't think it seems outrageous. It's nothing new. It's all about, do you buy into it? And then do you want to execute on it? And it's, again, a very simple plan. So let me come off the little share screen. So again, the purpose of that form is that you have a place to now brainstorm some ideas of people that you would put on there. Like right now, I'd write down your CPA. If you've been using like TurboTax and going, Greg, I can do it on my own, it's super simple, that's okay. But I'd rather pay the CPA because A, he might know some stuff that the TurboTax isn't telling me, but also I'm actually paying for his referrals. Because if I can get in and really build a relationship with this CPA, then I know that they're gonna elicit referrals to me. They have a big influence over, and a typical CPA, just so you know, is anywhere from like 130 to 180 clients a year. That, by the way, they're about to go into hibernation because they just finished business taxes like 6 days ago, right? So now they're on a break until end of January, middle of February, right in there. So you literally have a 3-month window to attack CPAs. Now, if you don't have a CPA, I would Google CPA 85260, 85254, 85, whatever you are, and see who comes up. I would ask my sphere for a recommendation, not my sphere of realtors, because they're going to give me theirs, and that means they already have a CPA. Now, that doesn't stop me because maybe they're not getting referrals from them either because they're not asking. So maybe I just out-earn that relationship. But really, I want it from my, friend, family member, past client, a past client call. Hey, how's it going? Cool, great. How's the house? I'm just checking in on you. Awesome. Hey, random question. Do you guys have a CPA? I'm looking for one. No? Okay. If I find a good one, would you like me to refer them to you? Or if they say, yeah, we've had the same guy for 5 years. He's awesome. His name's Bill. Like, great. Can you introduce me to Bill? Now I got a warm referral. Now that's the same thing I can do for the financial planner thing, but let's stay with the CPA one. Now I have a warm referral to call Bill and say, hey, Bill, I was talking to Allison. She's a past client of mine. She said, rave reviews about you. I'm looking for a CPA. Could I buy you are you taking more clients on? Let me just ask you that question first. Are you taking on new clients? Yes, I am. Great. Can I buy you a cup of coffee and see what an ideal referral is for you? Because I'm looking for someone for my personal, but also for my clients. When can we grab a cup of coffee? I'm buying. That's it. I can do the same thing with financial planners. I like the warm referral from a past client or a friend or family member first. If I needed to Google, it's very simple. I Google financial planner 85260. You see who like looks good that you'd want to go with. Maybe you look them up on Facebook or LinkedIn, look up some reviews, and then you just call them. Hey, Marlene, it's Greg with Nova. You don't know me. I literally Googled you. I'm looking for a financial planner. I have no one that's been managing my money. Are you taking on new clients? Yes. Great. Hey, can I buy you a cup of coffee? I'd like to learn more about your business and what an ideal referral is for you. Done. When can we meet? Great. Now, if I call 10, maybe 5 answer, and maybe 3 say yes. Cool. I meet 3. You all have enough business to refer. It doesn't mean you have to refer them 100 people. You refer them 1 or 2 a year. That's all they want. And then in turn, they're going to then start referring you. But again, you're following, it's not just a one-time thing. They're now going on my list, and then I'm going to learn more about them. So let me share this is called an all about you form. I know Allison's seen this because I've taught this one a bunch of times. And again, this one should be with not only, this is what we teach for database, like all your past clients. So this one here, once it pops up, is something that you should be getting on all your clients. This should be part of your buyer package. This should be part of your listing package. This should be part of your VIP list. And it's not like I'm sitting down across the table going, oh, hey, so what is your spouse's, what's your anniversary? What's your kid's name? What's your pet's name? It's just going to come up organically through all your conversations when you're calling on a Monday. And stuff will just come up. Like Jackie's like, oh, I brought my dog to the office. I'm like, great. What's your dog's name? Oh, that's cool. And then I'm writing that down. And then later on, I know like, oh, when did you get him? When's his birthday? Oh, that's cool. And what if I sent a Puppuccino gift card to her 3 days before their birthday? Like she'd be like, oh my God, that's so cute. Thanks, Greg, for remembering. And now we're in an even deeper relationship. I know it sounds hokey, right? One of our agents, they got a dog, Bogey. I'm like, cool. We got an engraved green in a bogey for golf, right? We got a green collar that's stitched in yellow, which is a cool golf color, and says Bogey, and then send him that. Now he might outgrow the thing, but for a while, she's going to remember me every time she sees that dog collar. So I want you to think this is a way to stay in deeper relationship, because again, I just want you to think, I'm just going to pull up the calculator. Okay. Let's just say you spent the next 2 months building this list. Let's actually give it through Q1. So now you got 5 months. Okay. So you're going to take November, December, January, February, March. You got 5 months, and you're going to go deep on building this list of 50 people. And you're going to take the time to make the calls. You're going to book some sort of gathering. You're going to mail them all. You're going to get a one-on-one, and you're going to build this list and start going deep. All with the understanding that the 50 people have the ability to send you at least 2 closings. Now, if 50 people send me 2 closings in 2024, that's 100 deals. Now, I guarantee the financial planner and the CPA will get you more than 2. Most of them will anyways, but let's just say it's 2. That's 100. Let me just take what average purchase price is $550 or so. Let's just say it's 500. Okay, so I'll lowball it. So 500 times average commissions at 2.8%. So that's $14,000. Now, I don't need to be the loan guy to take 14,000 times 100, but does anyone want to take a guess? Because that's $1.4 million. That's crazy. Even if I'm half wrong, it's $700,000. That's crazy. And when you think about the compound effort of that's for spending 1 hour on a Monday. So if I take the 1.4 divided by, let's say 50 weeks, not 52, let's give you 2 weeks off. So 50 weeks. That's a $28,000 Monday. $28,000 just for honoring your one-time block on Monday to call and stay in relationship with the group of 50 people. Now, the hard part is that over the next 5 months, you've got to build a list. But once you build the list, and even if you get to 10, 20, 25, 30, it's a more manageable list that I can even go deeper on. But if I had 30 people referring me the 2, that's 60. 60 times $14,000 is $840,000. Either way, that's a lot of money. And I want you to think that's a lot of money with very little effort because it's such a small group of people. So this isn't, oh, I was on a call the other day. Someone was doing internet leads, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, you realize that it's 75 to 100 leads to get 2 to 3 closings. So that's 100 leads, making numerous phone calls, text messages, emails, whatever, hiring call centers, doing all this mind-numbing, head banging against the wall work to get 2 or 3 closings, rather than, why don't you call 10 CPAs to get 3? The 3 send you 6 closings. The 6 closings times 14,000 would be $84,000. It's like, it's math, not magic. So if I took the time to identify the people to put on my list, and then I take the time to take them through this list, right? And so as you look here, like, if I know that, Allison's favorite restaurant is Joyride, It's a Fox restaurant. And I'm like, cool. And then she sends me a couple of her CPA clients. And I go, great. And then I send her a gift card to Fox restaurants. It's going to be more meaningful, right? It's something that will, I got someone coming in here. It was something that lands better than, hey, I'm going to send you this Stone Cold Creamery and she has a dairy intolerance. Like that would be dumb, right? I need to get to know these people because again, I want this level of relationship to be really high. Now I'll give you a real example. I sent this out probably a month and a half ago. There's a gentleman, he's actually a fellow coach at the core. He's on the realtor side. His name's Kay. And he's done over $1 million in GCI off of the VIP program. And specifically, I think it's a little over half of it is from probate attorneys. I think he has 10 or 12 that are just probate attorneys. Now, because as you all know, someone passes away, the house goes to probate. The probate attorney only gets paid if the house sells, when the house sells. So that was part of his VIP program that he learned as a student in the core to go after VIPs. And he said, yeah, I'm going to go after attorneys. And he went after real estate attorneys, divorce attorneys, probate attorneys. And then the probate just started hitting. And he's like, oh, I'm just going to go after more probate attorneys. So he started building the list. So 12 or so out of the 50 are probate attorneys. And he gets a ridiculous amount of recurring revenue every month, just listing after listing after listing. He closed over 30 sides in November as a realtor. As a realtor. Insane. His Mondays are dialed in. So he has his, let me pull up this little sheet here. It's got all the names on it. So just like I shared a minute ago, you have this list all filled out with your people. And the reason why you have their address and phone and everything all in one place. Now, look, could you put this in your CRM and tag them as a VIP? Absolutely. I'm just a big fan of it's all in one place. And if I know that they're into the Suns or the Cardinals or snowboarding or whatever, maybe I'm making a donation to their favorite charity on their birthday. That'll go a long way. But there's two parts to this formula that we're talking about today. One is you got to create that list of people. And so right now, I just want you to think like, I just want you to write down, like, what are ideas of people that you could put down? I've already given you some, like we've got the CPA, you've got a financial planner. I just listed off a bunch of attorneys, mediators, tax attorney, real estate attorney. Like you all should have a real estate attorney that you have on speed dial because you have stuff that comes up. You're like, oh, let me get this. You need to talk to a real estate attorney about that. Some easement, right? So you have a real estate attorney, divorce attorney. The divorce attorney route is really good to go after mediators. So if I Google mediator Chandler and it comes up with mediators, I can now do that. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a certified divorce lending professional. So I coach for the company, but I also am certified and we do a lot of divorce deals. I go after a lot of divorce attorneys. Well, what I found out was Arizona is a collaborative state. Collaborative is not in every state in the US. There's only a handful that have it. And what that means is there's two attorneys that are also deemed collaborative attorneys. So there's a designation for them. And they literally sit across the table. So, me and Jackie are married and now we're like, oh, we're done. And I say, great. You get attorney, I get an attorney. We're going to have a counselor for the kids. We're going to have a realtor and a loan officer. We're going to have a social worker. We're going to have a job placement person. And we're all going to sit at the table with the cards face up. With the cards face up. Like, here's the financials. Here's the stuff. Here's everything. Okay, let's work this out. It's like having a mediation face-to-face with attorneys. And you have this whole group around you of professionals that if you need it, if you need the kid care, if you need, some social work, if you need job placement, because now there's not enough spousal support, so that person needs to go get a job, whatever it is, there's this whole group. So if I look up collaborative attorney 85260, then I know that I'm going to now go after those attorneys because I know they're going to work with clients that are very amicable. They're not the let's get the sharkiest attorney and you're going to get the clients that are sharky, not really great to work with. So when you think about putting this list together, I like the mediator, I like the collaborative attorney, if that's where you want to go. The other would be your own services. So I want to think of like, who do you already pay for stuff? Personal trainer, massage therapist, hair person, barber, dry cleaner, landscaper, housekeeper, pool guy. Who do you have that you already regularly pay that you need to put on this list because they're not referring you? And it's not their fault. It's my fault for not programming them, asking them, and repeatedly staying in relationship with them. This is not rocket science. This is literally, if I'm just in better relationship with my pool guy, he's going to call me and say, hey, Greg, so-and-so has me coming over to work on their pool and their equipment to spruce it up a little bit because they're thinking about listing their house. Okay. Your landscaper. Hey, so-and-so wants me to do some stuff to up the curb appeal because they're getting relocated. Now you're thinking, they already have a relo company. That doesn't matter. My neighbor worked with the relo company and I told him, I'm like, no, don't do that. And so they canceled, still got the credits and worked with the realtor that I hooked them up with. Because I told them they were not going to get a good experience with the person that they were getting connected to. So wouldn't you want to be on the front end of that because you knew that person? And again, if I'm paying my landscaper every month, my pool guy every month, but then I'm also saying, hey, Javier, who else do you know that needs me? Like I'm asking them, hey, what realtors do you know? What realtors do you service their pools? What realtors do you know that own the homes that are rental properties that you're going and cleaning? And he's like, oh, yeah. Do you know so-and-so? And I'm like, no. He's like, oh, I'll make an introduction. And then he makes an introduction for me. Javier wasn't thinking about doing that before. I'm also helping Javier because I said, hey, man, how many pools do you have? Are you looking to expand your business? How about you and your guys go door knock the neighborhood to offer a free pool cleaning because you're already in the neighborhood and put my information on the back? He's like, done. So what if you were to have a door hanger made up that said, scan here for a free financial statement for your house, and it was the QR code for HomeBot, and on the other side, it was the pool guy, it was the landscaper, it was the AC guy for the neighborhood that you solicited to then be in co-market with them to get some deals, and then they're already there. So they're going to go door knock the neighborhood, hang up a couple flyers, drive around, service the pools, and you're getting some publicity. So these are just ideas of how I can stay engaged with these people, help them with their business, and get referrals from them. But they stay top of mind for me because I have them on this VIP list that I'm sharing with you now. I have all that information on them because I'm asking, hey, man, what's your son's name? Oh, cool. When's his birthday? Great. Like someone sends me something like, hey, Greg, I know it was Kai's birthday's coming up. Do something special. I know he likes basketball. Here's a gift card to Dick's Sporting Good. That means more to me than you buying me something for my birthday. So the fact that someone knows my kid's birthday, sends me something for them that's specific for them, dude, I'm like, whatever that person needs from me, they're getting. And that's another level of being a relationship-based lender, realtor. I mean, you could take this to any business and this works. For us, it's real estate and mortgage. How do we leverage that? So I just want you to think like, who else could you put on your personal list? I'll give you a second because I'm going to grab some water. Who else can you put on your personal list? If you got suggestions that I haven't mentioned, throw them in the chat. I like small businesses. So like I said, the dry cleaner, that's like a weird one. Ooh, nail tech. I like it. I like it. When I was a trainer, I was at the villages. So if you don't know about the villages are like really nice. They're health club and spas. They're one of the top in the Southwest. Anyways, I would go and train the nail techs for free and we would trade. So I'd go in, get a manicure and pedicure, and then they'd come over and they'd train with me on a break. I'd work, pest control. I like that. Those are people that you guys use, right? You're already using them. Like you use them personally or you refer them for your database. So I would train the gal but then what would happen? The gal would be doing nails for people. And what would happen? Oh, who's a trainer that you recommend over there? There's so many. Oh, you should work with Greg. He's my trainer. Or, oh, Jackie, you're looking so good. Man, what have you been doing? I've been training with Greg. Oh, okay. And now I'm getting a client. So I got so many clients because I traded with the nail tech and the massage people. And then when I trained them, they were like a mobile billboard for me. But I had to ask, right? Hey, make sure when you're doing people's nails, like ask them if they want a training session. I'll give them one for free, which for you guys would be I'd give them a free CMA. For me, it's I'll give them a free quote. I'll pre-qualify them for nothing. I'll check on their finances, right? Local places that you're eating. I love it. I love it, especially if you're farming neighborhoods or doing open houses. Going after the small businesses. There's a gal, she's not on here, Sam. She runs Scottsdale Ranch. I mean, runs it. And she's got flyers that go out to the neighborhoods. She hosts events in front of the businesses for the businesses. She promotes the business, does videos with the business owners. I mean, it's to another level. Imagine if you took this list of your VIPs and you did a video and said, hey, CPA guy, I'd love to interview you. Why you got into being a CPA and what makes you special. What's a tax tip that most homeowners don't know about. Okay. And you do a quick, and I could do it on Zoom and hit, like today, I could hit Zoom record, post that on YouTube, send it out to my database, have them send it out to their database, post it on social media. Maybe I do that with I have a video with me interviewing my pool guy at my pool, offering free chemical check, free equipment check. So we send that out to every client that comes in with an appraisal with a pool. No, I posted on social. I sent that out to the database. He sent it out to his. We've gotten tons of business off of that video. Do something with a handyman. Like a handyman is getting called to people's houses and they're gonna somehow say, yeah, we just want to fix it up a little bit because we're thinking about listing it soon. We want to enjoy it a little bit longer ourselves, but then we're going to list it in 6 months. I have a lot of people that, right now, you go to your database and you hit them up like, hey, I realize that you're staying in your house because, rates are at an all-time low. Over 70% of people are in sub 5% interest rates. You're probably going to stay in your house. While you're there, I would love to send my home inspector out to inspect your home so we stay ahead of any deferred maintenance. And also, if there's anything you want to fix up, that way you can enjoy the property longer while you're in it and get more out of it when you go to sell. That's a great video to send out. What am I doing? I'm getting my home inspector some referrals. I'm getting my handyman some referrals. Or if you have an interior designer, that would be a good one to put on the list because you can feed them referrals. But man, who hires an interior designer? People that have money, because those people are expensive. They've done both my houses and Katie's like, hey, I just hired her. I want to do some renovations. And I'm like, yeah, can you get some quotes? Because it's not an awesome market. Can we hold off a little bit on the budget? But now we're doing 3 rooms in the house. If my realtor had called me and said, hey, I got a great interior designer that would love to come over and do a complimentary consult of your house, how many interior designers would do that? And now you're getting credit for the connection. And then they do some work. And then eventually when they go, they get more top dollar for the house. And they were able to enjoy it along the way. Again, great tactic to stay in front of your database, but also to build your VIP list and stay in front of them. Okay, that's all I got. If anyone has any questions, you can post them in the chat. So a quick recap, your assignment, so to speak, is to build this list. And the easy ones are the ones we already mentioned. The harder ones is when you're out of ideas. You're like, well, I put the CPA, I put the financial, I put the trainer. I got 13 people. Where am I finding the rest, Greg? Well, you could refer multiple CPAs. So even though you're only using one, I could refer to 3 CPAs, right? Because you have enough closings where this month I'm going to refer it to Johnny. This one, I'm going to send it to April. This one, I'm going to send it to Ryan. And then I'm just going to rinse and repeat. So I don't need to refer all mine to one. I can spread it out. Same with your financial planner. I'd say like 3. Same with the mediators and divorce attorneys. I could do 3 and 3. I mean, I probably have 5, 6 divorce attorneys and mediators, 3 financial planners. So you can have multiple in different sources. And again, me and Jackie are here to help you with this ideas and building this out. But again, I don't want you to think like, Wow, that's so simple. Simple to do is simple not to do, right? I want you to think it is simple. The hard part is the execution of it. So step number one would be to go into your calendar on Monday and put 1 hour that's non-negotiable that you're going to put in there and put VIP list. And for now, you're going to spend that hour building the list. Go in on Monday, it pops up in your calendar, VIP list. You're like, oh, I'm going to create my list and just start adding people on there. Then start making the calls. Then start building out that all about you form. So in the recap, I'll send the recording. I'll send the spreadsheet for the top 50 list that, again, has the cheat sheet on the top of exactly what to do, the email, the calls, the mailing, the birthday program, the somehow get together hangout, whether it's a happy hour, lunch, breakfast, golf, something, some sort of hangout to get them connected. Because I don't want it just to be me and the pool guy. I want the pool guy to meet the landscaper, to meet the home inspector, to meet the attorney, right? And you can see how this can all turn into a big group for you. And again, all with the realization of, if I build the list and they can send me 2 or more people, that's a lot of money for you guys. It's a lot of money. And with very little work, because I didn't have a ton of relationships. I can't manage 1,000 relationships, but man, I can manage 50. That's going to make me 1.4 in GCI. Like, your problem is going to be, who do I hire to help me? Yes, I will send the spreadsheet, and then I will also spend the Word document. You can edit the Word document, obviously. If there's something in that you want to add as a question, or you can obviously put your logos and stuff. But again, take that all about you form and also use that in your buyer presentation and in your listing presentation. You want to gather that information for your clients, because what better way to thank them for referring you in the future than to give them something exactly what you want. You always reward the behavior that they're giving you something. Give them something that they really want, that specific restaurant that they like, that specific gift that they like. And that's it. So if there's, I'll check the chat real quick. I didn't see any questions come through. Yes, I'll share the sheets. Love the suggestions in here. Okay, so last is in the comments in here, you'll see the link. So we have the realtor safety class coming up on Friday. I haven't sent out the thing for business planning because it's like 2 weeks away. So that would be a kind of a waste because it'll just get deleted. But the realtor safety event, it's an hour and a half. It's right at the Raintree in 101. Scott does a phenomenal job. And this isn't something where you're like wrestling on the ground and stuff. This is a lot more tactical. He will bring out the taser. No one gets tased in here. Maybe me or Jackie, but none of you guys will. But it's a really cool class. It's one to just open your eyes to be aware of the realtor safety and just opportunities to be just a little more safe. Just different stuff, like just walk into your car, walk into an open house, go into a new build site like we just had yesterday. It's just something that I think is very valuable. All right, Jackie, anything you want to mention?
No, if anyone has any questions or suggestions on any of these ideas, I'd love to schedule a one-on-one. I've done plenty of like strategies on coming up with different marketing materials and co-branding with other companies and how to reach out to them and ask on how they can, leave their contact information, or creating any like cute marketing pieces that you can leave at any of the establishments as well. So I
Love that.
linked my contact info, and I will, Helen, I will reach out to you, and I will also follow up with the flyer for next week's class.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll send out the in the recap as well. So I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.
Thanks.
Bye.